And this is a new chapter from Canto 3 Part 2, and this is chapter 19. In this chapter, the demon Hiranyaksha dies. So the killing of demon Hiranyaksha is the one that we are going to do today. So far the story is that twin brothers are born, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashyap. Hiranyakashyap takes up the land. Hiranyaksha, who is a demon, overcomes the gods. Indradev runs away. He takes over the godly kingdom. And then he says, I will take over the watery kingdom. So he dives deep into the ocean, and there he meets Varun Dev. Varun Dev says, I don't want to fight with you because you are a young person, I am an old person, but you have a great opponent in one of the avatars of the Lord. So go to that avatar. So that avatar is called Varaha avatar. So Hiranyaksha searches out the Varaha avatar. The Varaha avatar meanwhile is lifting the earth which has gone in the waters from below the ocean, and he keeps it on top and then he makes it float. And then he turns towards Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha meanwhile is abusing, he is using a very bad language and trying to provoke Varaha. Varaha meanwhile listens to all his bad words, doesn't respond. But now he looks at him and says, okay, I am ready for a fight. And then now both of them are fighting with each other. So here you will find in this chapter, it is all about the war between Hiranyaksha on one side and Varaha on the other. So we are going to do this new chapter today. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3 Part 2. This is chapter 19, the killing of demon Hiranyaksha. Verse 1, Sri Maitreya said, after hearing the words of Brahma, the creator who was free from all sinful purpose and as sweet as nectar, the Lord heartily laughed and accepted his prayer with a glance laden with love. Now, if you recollect in the last verses what we had done, all the gods have come down to see the fight between Hiranyaksha and Varaha. And they are all cheering for the Lord. I am sure you have seen if there is a football match or something, everybody cheers. So here you will find the gods have come down. They are showering petals and they are singing songs and they are doing the dance, over there in the stands like how we do when there is a cricket match and all. So this is exactly what is happening. And Brahmaji is lauding the Lord and he is saying, okay, you are a great one, but why did you take such a long time in trying to kill this? See, think about it like this. If you are a cricket fan or if you are a football fan or if you are a fan of a sports and the match goes on for, let us say, 5 days or 3 days or 2 days. Okay? Think, if you have to see the match finishes in just half a day. Are you going to feel cheated? Of course. You are paid for the full 4 days, 5 days or whatever. Think about it, you have gone to see a boxing match between two opponents. And both of them are very strong and mighty and all that, and you might have paid $1,000 or a $5,000 or a $10,000 ticket. And you are going for that match. You want to see the fight. and one of the opponents says, I don't want to fight, I'll give a walkover. Okay. The other person wins the match hands down because nobody is fighting him. Do you feel let down? Yeah. So you will find that even in the world of gods, the competition has to be fierce. Okay? It has to go on for a certain amount of time. It has to feel, we have to feel for the opponents as well as the party who is opposing it. We have to get angry and upset if something happens to the one that we are siding with. And if we are opposing someone, we want that person to be crushed and beaten to the pulp. This is a very common thing between us. Human beings love this kind of a game. And the Lord is always playing to the front benchers. You understand? He knows everybody is watching. So he takes his own sweet time. Okay. Like I dance like a butterfly and a sting like a bee, that kind of a thing. Muhammad Ali. So the Lord is also doing a certain amount of acting over here and says, okay, Brahmaji, I hear you. I am going to fight. And so he takes up his, weapons and all, and then now he's going to fight. The Lord who had appeared from the nostril of Brahma sprang and aimed his mace at the chin of his enemy, Hiranyaksha demon, who was stalking fearlessly before him. I want you to visualize it in your mind's eye, how these two are going to fight. Okay? Imagine in Las Vegas, you have a big ring and everybody is standing all like, yeah, cheering up. I'm sure you have seen, all those beautiful girls coming and they are doing their stunts over there. All those kind of things. The whole world is like that. Think about it. Everywhere, we want to see excitement. In our life also, we love excitement. If your life is going to be, I'm sure you are not going to like it one bit. Right? So in a similar fashion, here you are going to see these two opponents fight it out. Now, understand one thing. God is anyway going to defeat it. The hero is always going to win. You know this, isn't it? The hero always wins. The villain always loses. This is a traditional story. But the excitement is when something happens. It's like, imagine the other party is pushing, a goal. The beauty of it all is when you show that you are not doing it properly. Michael Jordan, he was asked, what is it that you feel when you are doing that, that single throw, what do you call it? I don't know, penalty shot or something like that. I don't understand these games. He says 24 times. The whole world was expecting me to put the ball. And 24 times I missed it. Here is a great player who misses it. And you can imagine the crowd getting frustrated and angry. Isn't it? He says these defeats, these kind of things happening, these failures are really very good for me because then I know what is success all about. So always you have to understand, if you don't fall, you will not know how to win. So you have to lose to win. It's a very beautiful statement. Please remember this. You have to fall down when you are trying out your cycle. You understand? You have a bicycle. your parents are going to be very, very cautious with it. They will put the two side wheels so that you don't fall down. No. Drive without those, those two wheels. Drive without it. Fall down 10 times. Does not matter. Get beaten up. I was telling Rajma, till my 8th standard, 8th grade, I was a very short fellow. Very, very short fellow. Means I shot up in my life after, I think, 9th or 10th grade only. Before that, I was very, very tiny. And everybody would beat me up. Okay, in school. So during one holiday, I learned at that time Bruce Lee was like my god for me. Okay, Bruce Lee films, Enter the Dragon and all was there. So I learned how to do karate. And then we had a gym. I imagine a single, thin guy going to the gym, and there I used to put on my gloves. I had gloves, okay, and I would punch the bag. Nobody will play with me because all of them were elders. Who will want to play with one small kid in the so nobody wanted to. So I started learning punching, okay, and my punches were hard. And after the 8th standard, one day, when somebody bullied me, I caught him in the middle of the road and trashed him no end. The public came to save that boy. He was elder to me. He was quite taller and all, and yet I was able to beat him to the pulp. And all my friends who used to look at me as, oh, this fellow is a puny guy, after that started respecting me quite a lot. So it was very funny, but you have to give it up first time, like you have to lose it and then you can make it. Then it is called a fight. So here God is going to do exactly like that. So Hiranyaksha is on one side and Varaha is on the other side, and they are both fighting. And when they are both fighting, by the time the Lord picks up his weapon, Hiranyaksha has come and beaten him. Okay. Struck by the demon's mace, however, the Lord's mace slipped from his hand. And it looked splendid as it fell down whirling. This was miraculous, for the mace was blazing wonderfully. You know what a mace is, okay? Gada. So while he is swinging at the opponent gives him one solid bash and the Lord loses his mace, it falls down. It's a bright mace and it is shining when it fell down. Even though the demon had an excellent opportunity to strike his unarmed foe without obstruction, he respected the law of single combat, thereby kindling the fury of the Supreme Lord. I want you to understand this. When the person has lost his weapon, you can strike him and kill him and he can die also. You know that, no? Now imagine, in your team, okay, a team of 11, 4 players get hurt and they go away. Do you think it's an opportunity for you to actually beat that other team or no? Yeah, of course it is. So when you lose opponents or when you lose your own team members or somebody like a big person is hurt, okay, a Maradona or one of those guys are hurt and they are going back to the pavilion, you definitely want to win. But here the enemy is very, very dharmic. Please understand, he is Jai Vijay, isn't it? So he is none other than the highest devotee of the Lord. So he doesn't strike the Lord. It's a very benevolent character. Today's day and age, you cannot expect enemies to do that. They will strike in the middle of the night when everybody is asleep. You are not supposed to bomb over territories where there are human beings like common people living. You are not supposed to bomb hospitals and shelters. But in today's day and age, how the world has changed. All the adharmic things are happening. You will find that in this world of deceit, everything wrong is happening. Whereas look at Hiranyaksha. Even though he had an opportunity to strike the Lord, he did not strike. And the Lord was upset about it. The Lord is looking at him. Why are you not eating me? You got the opportunity. You are a demon. Beat me. No. As the Lord's mace fell to the ground and a cry of alarm rose from the witnessing crowd of gods and rishis. Oh, you know that kind of a noise which comes out. From the stands, everybody, yeah, and suddenly, oh, my God, somebody is doing something wrong. So imagine there are two sides playing and this kind of a thing happens. Maybe you get the card. You can get out from here. Just like that. It is going to be difficult. So at that moment in time, all the gods who are watching, they're cheering for him, the Lord. They get very afraid. Oh, look at this. He lost his mace. And they look at the Lord and say, oh my God, Varaha is a really very good guy, isn't it? He is looking at his opponent and he is not doing anything about it. Look at it. As the Lord's mace fell in the ground and the cry of alarm rose for the witnessing crowd of the gods and the rishis, Narayana acknowledged the demon's love of righteousness and thereby invoked his Sudarshan Chakra. So the Lord says, okay, I don't want to fight this demon for long. I know what I have to do. I have to send him back again. Okay. So, as the discus began to revolve in the Lord's hand and the Lord contended at close quarters with the chief of his Vaikuntha attendant, who has been born as Hiranyaksha, a wild son of Diti, there issued from every direction strange expression uttered by those who are witnessing from airplanes. They had no knowledge of the Lord's reality and they cried, may victory attend you, pray dispatch him, play no more with him. And here you will find that the gods are watching with their, planes on top. They are seeing everything down below. I don't know whether you know this, but many, many years ago, I think it is in the year 1975, if I am not mistaken, or was it 76, I don't recollect, or some year, when I was small. The Olympic Games were going on in Munich. And the Israeli team had come out to play. And there was a blimp in the sky. You know what a blimp is, no? So the blimp was there, and from there, the Israeli team members were shot and they died. This was done by a terrorist group. It's a very heinous act that was performed at that time, especially during the Olympics. I believe there was a daughter of a very, very rich industrialist in that. If I am not mistaken, I don't recollect the story that well. Now, this girl, this is just a small sidetrack I'm giving you. She used to belong to a very rich family. And one day she was kidnapped by some people. And they asked for ransom. And the girl was kept with these people for many, many days. The girl fell in love with the main gang member. and she became one with that gang. I think it was called Black Friday or something. I don't recollect now. That group was there. And the money also was collected by her, by her and her gang members, whatever ransom that was paid. And then she was involved in a lot of action along with those members. When you become one with your enemy in such circumstances, it is called the Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm is the name of a place. So this is called the Stockholm syndrome that came into the picture at that time. Just a sidetrack to give you an understanding what happened in the past. So here Hiranyaksha is fighting, but he doesn't strike the Lord. And the Lord can understand, here is my own devotee, Jaya Vijaya, and they know that they are my devotees and they are not going to do anything wrong. And the gods on the other side, they are cheering for the Lord and they are telling the Lord, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him, kill him. You got the point? The Lord himself doesn't feel nice about the whole thing. But it's an act which he has to perform. In life, sometimes you have to do this kind of actions. You may not like something, but to give the right lesson, you have to take certain action. That action may go against your liking and disliking. But when you have to convey it to the other person or the persons, you will have to take certain actions. Let us say you have someone in your life. This person goes and does something. And there is a fight in the street because of that. Now this person may go and borrow money or rob someone or something happens. The opposite party comes and starts beating up your dear one. You become very indignant, you know that? And you say the other person is wrong. And you want that other person to be beaten up. Whereas the truth is something which you are hiding from. I hope you get the point. No, in such circumstances, it is your duty to teach your relative, whoever it might be. It could be a son, it could be a brother, it could be a sister or whoever, to always follow the path of dharma. Why do you bring your ego in the middle? Why are you having the attachment? Because of attachment, many a times we do wrong stuff. We take sides with the wrong kind of people. I hope you get the point. So here the Lord can see, yes, there are certain things that are happening. The Lord then said, take up your weapon and try again. As you are eager to conquer me. Challenged in these words, the demon aimed his mace at the Lord and once more loudly roared. When the Lord saw the mace flying towards him, he stood firmly where he was and caught it with the same ease as Garuda, the king of birds, would seize a serpent. His valor thus frustrated, the great demon felt humiliated and was put out of countenance. He was reluctant to take back the mace when it was offered by the Lord himself. So here what the Lord does is, he also swings, the other person's mace falls down. And when the mace falls down, he tells the demon also an equal opportunity to fight. And then the demon picks up the weapon and swings it, wanting to hit the Lord. But the Lord moves away and deflects the weapon with his own weapon. Again, a similar thing happens. The Lord waits for him. The demon gets very frustrated with what is happening. See, something like this happens to us, we are also going to feel very sad, and our entire demeanor changes. He was reluctant to take the mace when it was offered by Narayana himself, by Varaha himself. He now took a trident which is as rapacious as the flaming fire and hurled it against the Lord, the enjoyer of all sacrifices, even as one would use penance for a malevolent purpose against a holy Brahmana. This is something which you need to know. This is very important for us. Let me tell you the story here first, and then we will come to the teaching. The demon takes up a trident, and in that anger he hurls it towards the Lord. The Lord is able to deflect that weapon also, and he doesn't get hurt. And the way it is hurled, there is a lot of malevolence in it. It is a wrong action done over there. Now, what is the wrong action? Sometimes human beings, they have this habit of doing a puja or a part or performing some yagyas for doing harm to somebody else. It's a very dangerous and a wrong thing to do. You are doing puja so that your enemy can get defeated. You are performing a yagya so that your enemy can be killed. You are telling the Lord, please, I want this person to rot in hell. Are you getting the point? You are praying to God and saying, let this man go to hell, let him rot in hell, let him, go through the miseries of life. This is not the way to be done. Do you think the Lord doesn't know if there are certain things going right or wrong? If you are trying to influence God for doing something wrong to that person, who is at fault? I hope you get the point. Thinking about another person and saying, we have this habit in India, we say all the bad things about the other person. We say, Keede pado mar jaye sala. That kind of a thing. Keede pado means, let this person be filled with worms and let the person die. Let him rot in hell. Are we saying these kind of words often or no? When something goes wrong in our life, we'll always curse the other person. Please remember, these curses are wrong. It doesn't make you rise. On the contrary, you fall down because you mean a very bad thing for someone in life. I have often told my own disciples, why are you talking ill about someone else? Don't. There is no need for you to speak ill about someone else and curse that other person. Any which way that person has to meet his end in a different manner. There is a final authority somewhere in this universe. Yamdev is watching every step that is happening over there. Why are you trying to preempt the action of Yamdev, by the way? Why? You are trying to influence the whole result? If you try to influence God in his doings, it is you who is at fault. Think. When there is a court case going on in the court, and the opponent bribes the judge or somebody over there and gets the verdict in their favor, knowing fully well that the other person is a murderer or whoever, do you think they have done the right thing? That means you have not allowed natural justice to happen. Do you get the point? The nature has its own way of doling out justice. Why are you interfering in that? You are bribing God. You are doing something wrong. Don't do that. The Lord has his own ways of taking care of the situation. Please don't interfere in this. And that is why it is said, the enjoyer of all this, even as one would use penance for a malevolent purpose against a holy Brahmana. Don't do that. Hurled by the mighty demon with all his strength, the flying trident shone brightly in the sky. Narayana, however, tore it to pieces with his discus Sudarshan, which had sharp-edged rim, even as Indra cuts off the wings of Garuda. The demon was enraged when the trident was cut to pieces by the discus of Narayana, Varaha avatar. He therefore advanced towards the Lord and, roaring aloud, struck his hard fist against the Lord's broad chest, which bore the mark of Srivatsa. Then he went out of sight. Hit in the manner by the demon, O Vidura, the Lord who had appeared for the first boar, as the first boar, did not feel the least quaking in any part of his body, any more than an elephant would then struck with a wreath of flowers. You will have to understand the fight is going on. When he hurls a weapon, Hiranyaksha hurls a weapon, the Sudarshan Chakra discus cuts through the weapon and destroys it. So then the demon takes his fist and pounds it in the chest of the Lord, where the Srivatsa is. It's a tuft of white hair. Tuft of white hair on his chest. So he pounds the chest, but the Lord doesn't feel anything because he is the Lord, he is the Almighty God. The demon, however, employed many conjuring tricks against Narayana, who is the Lord of Yogamaya. At the sight of this, the people were filled with alarm and thought that the dissolution of the universe was near. Fierce winds began to blow from all directions, spreading darkness occasioned by dust and hailstorms. Stones came in volley from every corner as if thrown by machine guns. The luminaries in outer space disappeared due to the skies being overcast with masses of clouds, which were accompanied by lightning and thunder. The sky rained pus, hair, blood, stool, urine, and bones. O sinless Vidura, mountains discharged weapons of various kinds, and naked demonesses armed with tridents appeared with their hair hanging loose. While all this fight is going on, you can see the evil portents gather around. The sky had turned dark. And now, because Hiranyaksha, who is the lord of the demons, he is fighting and he is losing. So all his people come together. All the demons, demonesses, they all come and they start clamoring over there. Cruel and savage slogans were uttered by a host of ruffian yakshas and rakshasas, who all either marched on foot or rode on horses, elephants, and chariots. The Lord, the personal enjoyer of all sacrifices, now discharged his beloved Sudarshana, which was capable of dispersing the magical force displayed by the demons. At that moment, a shudder suddenly ran through the heart of Diti, the mother of Hiranyaksha. She recalled the words of her husband Kashyapa, and blood flowed from her breasts. Here you will find that the Lord has now released his Sudarshan Chakra. And it is going towards this demon. It is going to cut him into pieces. At that moment in time, the mother who was on the earth, Diti, she remembers what her husband had told her, Kashyapa Muni, that your son is going to meet a horrible death at the hand of the Lord. and your son is going to do something wrong in this world. When the demon saw his magic forces dispelled, he once again came into the presence of Keshava and full of rage tried to embrace him without the arms to crush him. But to the amazement he found the Lord standing outside the circle of his arms. The demon now began to strike the Lord with his hard fists, but Lord Adhokshaja slapped him with the root of the ear, even as Indra, the Lord of the Maruts, hit the demon Vratra. Though struck indifferently by the Lord, the conqueror of all, the demon's body began to heal. His eyeballs bulged out of their sockets, his arms and legs broken, and the hair on his head scattered. He fell down dead like a gigantic tree uprooted by the wind. So they go into a hand fight. The Lord and the demon are fighting against each other. The demon is trying to punch him constantly, but the Lord is not there, visible to him. And after that, the Lord takes up his own weapons and his own hands, and though the demon tries to crush the Lord in his grip, but he is not able to do anything to the Lord. And then the Lord kills him. Aja, that is Brahma, and others arrived at the spot to see the fearfully tusked demon lying on the ground, biting his lips. The glow of the face was yet unfaded, and Brahma admiringly said, "Oh, who could meet such blessed death?" To die at the hands of the Lord is a very, very great thing in this world. You know, when the Lord himself is killing you, as you can see even in case of Ravana and various others, the Lord himself is going to inflict that thing. And that is a very, very great thing, because you get straight, it's like a passport to his heaven. Brahma continued, he was struck by the forefoot of the Lord, whom yogis seeking freedom from their unreal material bodies meditate upon in seclusion in mystic trance. While gazing on his countenance, the crest jewel of Diti's sons had cast off his mortal coil. These two personal assistants of the Lord, having been cursed, have been destined to take birth in demonic families. After a few such births, they will return to their own positions. And this is something which has been already discussed. You will find that Jaya Vijaya have been cursed by the sons of Brahma. And so, by God's grace, they have been born in the demon's womb. They have been born as demons. And they will be killed 3 times. 3 times. And this was a curse which was pronounced. And so this is the first time when one of the demons is getting killed. That is Hiranyaksha. The demigods address the Lord, all obeisance unto you. You are the enjoyer of all sacrifices, and you have assumed the form of a boar in pure goodness for the purpose of maintaining the world. Fortunately for us, this demon who was tormenting the world has been slain by you, and we too, O Lord, are now at ease in devotion for your lotus feet. So the gods are also thanking the Lord, because this demon has been troubling them. You know, we have done these entire chapters, how he has troubled everybody from the heaven to the denizens of the netherworld also, plus the earthly people. He has really troubled all of them. So he is dead. And that's why they are very happy. They are praising the Lord. Sri Maitreya continued, after thus killing the most formidable demon, Hiranyaksha, the Supreme Lord Hari, the origin of the boar species, returned to his own abode, where there is always an uninterrupted festival. The Lord was praised by all the demigods, hated by Brahmanas. Now here in this case, the story is nearly coming to an end, where you will find that the Lord has finished slaying Hiranyaksha. So there is no need for him to hang around over there. So all the gods have praised him, and now he is going back to his own heaven. Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, I have explained to you the Narayans coming down from the first boar incarnation and killing in great fight a demon of unprecedented prowess, as he was just a plaything. This has been narrated by me as I heard it from my predecessor, spiritual master. Now, this is a story which takes us back Vidura is sitting in front of Maitreya Muni, and Maitreya Muni has told him about the first avatar of the Lord. How the avatar lifts the land from below the sea and puts it on top and fights this demon Hiranyaksha. So this is the back end of what has happened. Sutta Goswami continued, my dear Brahmanas, Satta, that is Vidura, the great devotee of the Lord, achieved transcendental bliss by hearing the narration of the pastimes of the Supreme Lord from the authoritative source of the sage Maitreya, and he was very pleased. What to speak of hearing the pastimes of the Lord, whose chest is marked with Srivatsa? People may take transcendental pleasure even on hearing the works and the deeds of the devotees whose fame is immortal. So you have also heard this story, isn't it? There Maitreya Muni was telling the story to Vidura. Vidura has heard it. It's a beautiful tale. It is a story of the Lord, how he kills the demons. That means the evil will always get destroyed. This is the meaning of the story. Lord delivered the king of the elephants who were attacked by an alligator who meditated upon the lotus feet of the Lord. At that time, the female elephants who were accompanying him were crying, and the Lord saved them from the impending danger. What grateful soul is there? We are talking of another story over here. In the meanwhile, this story has entered because we have to do that in the future. You will find that the Lord of the elephants was one day caught up by the alligator, and he had to be saved. At that time, his wives were standing at the side, and they were cheering the Lord. So this is a story which we will be doing in the future. What grateful soul is there who would not render the loving service to such a great master as the Lord himself? The Lord can be easily pleased by spotless devotees who resort exclusively to him for protection, though the unrighteous man finds it difficult to appropriate him. You will find that all the unrighteous people, they will never look at the Lord. Sometimes they are very hypocritical in nature. They try to praise the Lord because they want harm to be done to their own people, to the people who are opposing them. That is not a good thing to do. I have already taught you this. But there are righteous people, and they are always going to praise the Lord. And hearing such type of stories, it is very beautiful to hear these stories, because this will give you a lot of spiritual zeal. O Brahmanas, anyone who hears, chants or takes pleasure in the wonderful narration of the killing of Hiranyaksha demon by the Lord, appears at the first boar in order to deliver the world, is at once relieved with the result of sinful activities, even killing the Brahmana. So listening to these stories is very, very important for everybody, because it releases us from the entrapment of this material world, that is the Maya herself. This most sacred narrative confers extraordinary merit, wealth, fame, longevity, and all the objects of one's desire. On the field of battle, it promotes the strength of one's vital organs and organs of action. One who listens to it at the last moment of his life is transferred to the supreme abode of the Lord, oh dear Shaunaka. So here, it is mentioned that hearing such kind of beautiful stories, what is happening over here is called Shravana. That means you are listening to the story. The one who is telling you the story, okay, is the one who is doing this satsang. When you hear it completely with your mind, body and the soul in this, it can confer great weal to you. You will get extraordinary merit, wealth, fame and longevity. Okay, these are purusharth. These are something that will come to you. Dharma, artha, kama and moksha also. At the time of death, if somebody were to listen to this story also, they will be able to go to the heaven of that Lord. And that is why listening to these stories is extremely important from our perspective. And that is why we should always listen to these satsangs. So we have come to the end of this chapter. Tomorrow we will do the next chapter, which is chapter 20. So we will stop over here for today.